Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on DC Dual Force. My name is Stamps.to, and today guys, I'm going to go ahead and showcase one of my decks that I've been working on currently. This is going to be one of many series and one of many deck builds that I'm going to currently be working on. I want to play test them first for at least several games so that I could at least get the feel of the deck, and if I need to tweak anything, I tweak them and I keep on playing them. So I feel like this is like kind of like the right build. But today we're going to talk about Green Lantern and Batman. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what exactly I'm playing with, the reason why I'm playing with them, and why I'm playing with it. So first things first, I just want to go over the leaders so that way everybody knows what the leader does. It says here, Hal Jordan, at the start of your first turn, create a Green Lantern in your hand. So that's pretty cool. So if you don't open up with a Green Lantern, you could definitely guarantee to get one. Or if you do open up with one Lantern, you know that Hal Jordan, your leader, is going to have another Green Lantern so that you can start boosting up your other Lantern that's in your hand. He gets 3 charges. Hal Jordan gets +4 power this turn and generates a bronze. So that's very helpful because Green Lantern is very resource hungry, and they need to always have an extra resource in order for them to generate their abilities. So in actuality, I feel like Green Lantern is definitely a little bit lesser of a tier type of deck because they're so what's that word I'm looking for? They're so fair. They're fair because there's not a lot of free play of their cards. You have to pay energy to summon their card, and then you have to pay another energy just to trigger their ability. So they're more fair instead of like a very like, oh, I could just summon myself and then just instant power up. So no. So unfortunately they're not like as broken as I want them to be, but they're pretty okay. But I'm gonna show you guys why some of the cards I chose for them. And then next, obviously, our next character is Batman. I feel like Green Lantern, again, since they're so slow and they're so resource hungry, you need another leader that's attacking every other turn. So, like, I feel like you need to have, like, either Batman or Wonder Woman, for example. Like, you need someone to be attacking and clearing out the board, because if you don't clear out the board, you're going to lose so much tempo in the game, in the match, and then you're going to have so many units to deal with that you can't deal with them, because a lot of times Green Lanterns, they can't attack. So even if you summon them and power them up, they can't attack. So then you're just getting outvalued by your opponent by so much. So at least if you have a leader like Batman with just 2 charges and he can be able to attack every other turn, that's really strong. So I feel like Batman is a good fit or a good sidekick with Green Lantern. So also the leader Batman, 2 charges. Batman gets +3 power this turn and seek 1 of 2 gadgets. So that's always really good. Alright, so I'm going to go with the card choices, exactly why I chose certain cards and the ratio. So you can see here right now my ratio is 1 free play. We have 20 bronze, 11 silver, 8 golds. So 32 units in total, and then 8 action cards. Alright, so first things first, Green Lantern candidate. A lot of people overlook this card, and I feel like it's important because it goes well with the next card I'm going to show you guys, which is Chase On. It's a bronze card. The first time you play this, another Green Lantern, generate a bronze. So if you can actually get some real nice free play off this. So you can go play this on turn 1 and then play your free Green Lantern, and it'll generate a bronze, and then you can play like another card like Stargirl or something like that, so that way you can have a little bit of momentum, or you can play like an Alfred, and so you can kind of like control the board. Or you can wait for your second turn to have 2 bronzes, and then you can go turn 1 play Chase On, then Green Lantern candidate somewhere else, and then play your Green Lantern, your main Green Lantern, on top of Chase On, and then you can actually use the ability of your Green Lantern. So I like kind of like doing cool things like that. So that being, I play only just 1 copy. I think 1 is more than enough. Alfred, really good card. Great with Batman Hero, automatically charge. You can literally on your first turn, well, if you're going second, you get that 1 charge, and then if you play Alfred, you get that second charge. So Batman is already attacking on your first turn if you're going second. So really good card. Definitely Batman will be able to control the board already at the start of the game if need be. one copy of Stargirl because you only have 20 cards, so room is very tight in this deck because you're playing a lot of 2-ofs of other things. So I think one Stargirl is just fine. If you start with her, great. If you don't, it's okay. They're gonna destroy her as quickly as possible because they don't want you to generate free value. One Simon Bass. Because he only gives your Green Lantern shield +3. I feel like shield, if his shield is good, I feel like he could have been a little bit more higher stat. If he was maybe like a 3-3, maybe a 3-4, then I think I would definitely put another copy in. But for right now, as a 3-2, he's pretty okay. He does the job what he needs to do. John Dingle, free value card. Every time you play like a gadget or something like that, he's always growing one stat, so you always put him in the back, and then he can actually kind of snowball for pretty high numbers. Jessica Cruz, one of my favorite Green Lanterns actually, because if you pay one bronze, a random Green Lantern in your hand gets +3, and she gets +3 also, so she becomes a 5-3 for one additional bronze, which is cool, and you can actually start beefing up your other Green Lanterns in your hand, which is great value. The Chosen Ring, I'm kind of like iffy about this, so I'm still playing 2 copies. I might drop it down to 1. Again, because if this was a free play card, this would be so wonderful because you can free play and then you can search for a Green Lantern, and that way you can save your 2 energy and go play Green Lantern guy and then use their abilities, so that way they're really strong. So if there's a way to make this free, that would be great. But right now, I'm playing just 2 copies. I probably might drop it down to 1. But we'll see. Getting a Green Lantern for 2-2 is pretty strong. Especially, again, you do have some resource generation, like the Green Lantern Power Battery. I'm playing 2 copies of this. So if you get this card in your hand and you get the Chosen Ring, it doesn't feel too bad because you still have more resources to play with. So that's why I kind of chose this that way. And also, Chase On, again, one of the MVPs of this deck. You need to play 2 copies. You always sit them in the back, and then, or if you could power them up and then sit them in the back later, so that way you can play Green Lantern, and then his ability generates another bronze, so that way you can trigger the Green Lantern that you just summoned for. So that's very, very strong, really good card. I wish he was a little bit high statted, maybe 3-3. Or maybe like a 2-4 or something like that, so that way he lives a little bit longer. But yeah, other than that, I think he's definitely a must in the deck. Harvey Bullock, again, just a simple card, bronze card, deal 1 damage, board control. That's what you need nowadays. Utility Belt, I feel like this is a good card too. Again, you get a gadget, and then you trigger Batman, and then you get to draw cards. So I think that's still good. Drawing cards in this game is really good, especially when you do like top deck situation. Ambush Bug, one of my favorite green cards. Speed, deploy, he has ambush. He could take out a lot of cards for free. He could put pressure, and then they always are going to go after him afterwards. But he does his job. I think he's a fantastic card. I wish I could play 2 copies, but 1 is more than enough. Bluebird at 2. Again, you're playing Batman. There's also another win condition we have also as well. Creating Gadget, great stats. Card really good. I think he's a staple in Batman. Arkham Guard, this is a card I'm just testing around right now. Deploy, if you have an Anarchy or a Tyranny leader, I guess +1/+1, so it'll become a 2/5. So that's pretty cool. It could be a little bit high stat stick. But other than that, you could probably take it out if you want, but it's just there, I guess, like a good placement card for now. Backhow, again, a very good defensive card because it could protect your what do you call it? I'm trying to find her. You could protect your Stargirl. You could protect your Green Lanterns. You could protect Chase On. So that way, it's a good protection card. 1 copy. They have to kill it, otherwise you get to get that free value draw card. So really good. Speedy. I think Speedy's just a great card in blue. Speed for 3/3, great stats. He can attack as soon as he comes out. Gets an arrow of your choice. You know what I mean? Really good card. I think very solid for blue. Robin, actually, I'm actually starting to really like Robin because, again, 5/5 stats, evade, very strong, and he charges your leader. So we don't really have too much charging, free charges except for Alfred for Batman. So having Green Lantern to trigger sooner than later is pretty good. So that's why I do like Robin for sure. If you're playing Batman, you have to play Lucas Fox, at least 1 copy. I don't like playing 2 because then he becomes a dead draw if you do get the second one. So that's why I like just 1. A lot of people don't like. Some people don't agree with that concept, but for me, honestly, like if I see it, awesome. If I don't, oh well. But yeah, I think just one is just great. I'd rather just only have one copy than have a dead draw later on. John Stewart, I really wish this card was a lot better than he is. I feel like he should have been a little bit high statted. If you pay 1 bronze, you deal damage equal to John Stewart's power to an enemy. Like I feel like he should have been like a 4 or 5 or something like that, because three hits most bronze, but it doesn't hit beefed up units from Wonder Woman. And I think a lot of cards, like if he was like a 4, he can hit most silvers. And if you power him further, then he'll hit every silver, I think, in the game. So I feel like if he's maybe like a 4 or 5, I think I would like him a little bit more. But yeah, I think he's a little bit underwhelming because of what he does. But, and, you know, he does get the job done when he does come out. Kilowog, I think, honestly, is probably the best Green Lantern in the game. Very high stats, 4/6. Deploy, gives Green Lanterns everywhere, +1/+1. Very strong ability. This guy can be huge. Actually, the game that you're going to see later, he actually becomes very huge. But very good card. You definitely play 2 copies of this card. You know, I mean, it's just one of the best Green Lanterns in the game, if not probably the best. Batwing, if you're playing Batman, you gotta play Batwing. You're getting gadgets, deploy. He gets buffed up, so very good tool. Booster Gold, I actually like Booster Gold because he was a 4/5. Now he's a 4/6. He goes great with Batarangs because Batarangs then become a 2 damage because of firepower. And then if you get Lucas Fox, then the Batarangs will be 4 damage. So it just gets ridiculous. So I think he's a really good card just to have just a 1-off. Commissioner Gordon, I think one of the best blue cards of 8, 3/3, some of the squad card that has speed. Great card, and you can always bring it back to your hand with Batman's grappling hook and stuff like that. So very good, strong card. Now for the golds, Captain Atom. I feel like he's a hit and miss. I don't know if there should be other good green cards, but I feel like he's probably one of the most like useful. Like Aura's pretty good. And if your character uses Aura, he gets ridiculously big for no reason. So I like to put him in the back lane, and then you can see actually too in one of the games you're gonna see, he can get crazy and he can develop a lot of resources, especially if you're playing against a Batman or anybody that's doing like arrows and stuff like that, and you're trying to get rid of your Aura. He's gonna grow really high. Hellblazer. Again, another just add-on card. You don't really need it. Deal 3 damage to each enemy. I feel like that's really good. It gets rid of Aura, and it gets rid of a lot of problem cards as well. Martian Manhunter, still a very unique card. He has Aura. He has Hunter. Hunter's great. Like he could get really big. Like we play a lot of deploys, and also a lot of the Green Lantern cards are deploys. So you know what I mean. We're playing a lot of deploys for blue. Green Lanterns are deploys. So it just makes a no-brainer to add Martian Manhunter. Very strong finisher. Master Rest, just board clear, just in case if you need it. Shazam, one of the best green cards you can obviously play. If Shazam would be KO'd, he transforms to Billy Baxton, which will be a 0/1. So normally you don't see Shazam again, but having 7/6 speed, broken. Best card, I think one of the best green cards. Hal Jordan, he's okay. You know, he doesn't come up this game. Sometimes, like maybe I might put another gameplay video, but he can get ridiculous. I have got him to like 12/12, and if Batman is still alive, you can grappling hook, bring him back, and dump him out again, and he could be 24/24. Like he could get really strong. Like it's pretty crazy how big he can get. So you know what I mean? Like Hal Jordan is okay, but it's cool that you can double up your power for your other Green Lantern in your hand, so that'll be really sick, and then they get even stronger. So he's pretty cool. Cyborg, again, you're playing Batarangs and stuff like that. So, and you also have a Booster Gold, so he could be doing 2 damage to the front row every single turn. Cyborg, I definitely good fit in if you're playing a lot of like cards to damage. And of course, another win condition we have is Batmobile. If Batman is still somehow alive, like mid to late game, this card can easily give Batman like a +10 stats, +3, so he could be +13. Plus, when the Batman attacks, he gets +3 already. So he could be like +16 Hunter and just going straight into the leader. So again, this is a very good card. If Batman is still alive. Other than that, you can have Hal Jordan have that +3, and then when he's attacking, when he triggers his charge, he'll be a +4. So then you're talking about 5, 6, 7. You're talking about 7 to the face. Pretty good. So I definitely cool finisher if you're playing a tactics leader. So those are my explanation of the cards, examples of why I chose these cards. There are some other cards you can put. Kyle Rayner, like, I feel like he's like a win more card, because if you don't have him in your hand, if he's not like really high statted, getting boosted from your other Green Lancers, I feel like he's so mediocre that paying that silver and that bronze to bring out that Kaiju, you know, that Kaiju could be really big. But I had a 20 Kaiju one time and we won automatically. But he's got to sit in the back row, and that Kaiju gotta, like, if you can choose to put position where the Kaiju's gonna spawn at, then this card I think will be a lot better. But since you can't control the spawn of the Kaiju that he summons, kind of sucks, because he needs to be protected, because they're gonna go straight after him immediately. So, you know what I mean, you could do some cool plays with like Kyle Rayner. Like you could trigger a Green Lantern's ability, have that bronze, so then you could play what's that big gold guy? You could play Captain Atom, right? Play Captain, or you can play Kyle Rayner first in the back row, trigger his ability from the bronze, because your Green Lantern Hal Jordan leader is gonna generate that bronze. You get that Kaiju, and then play Captain Atom in front of it, in front of Kyle, and then you can have an aura around Kyle too with the Kaiju. So I don't know, you could do something like that. But other than that, that would be for my discussion on exactly the cards, builds and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video for Batman and Green Lantern gameplay. So here it is. Alright guys, so we're going to go ahead and commentate over the game I had just recently playing this Batman Lantern deck. We're playing against Victor 28, so we're playing against, unranked match here. And we're playing against one of, I guess, probably the best meta deck right now is Batman and Wonder Woman. They're a very strong combination, and me looking into this, I'm like, man, can we be able to keep up? But hopefully with our Batman, we could keep up with the board pressure that our opponent is going to give us. So here we go. Our first opening hand is a bronze and 3 silver, so we're going to get rid of all silver cards here, because our leader does generate a Green Lantern, even though it could generate random Green Lantern like a silver one. But I still feel like we need to see more bronze, because silver is in turn 3, and we want to at least be able to keep up with board presence and clear out their board as much as possible, because their board is going to get crazy if you leave it alone. So they start off with a Minotaur. We're like, alright, that's fine. Alright, we draw, so we get our free Green Lantern off Hal, which is Chip. Not the greatest Green Lantern, but it's okay. So I go ahead and play Green Lantern's energy there, and I'm like, we can actually get rid of his Minotaur right now. So we play our a Bollock, pop him for 1. We play Alfred to charge our Batman, and our Batman is already charged. So like, this is what I was talking about. On turn 1, our first turn, we can already have an attacker on the board, which is great. So Batman, we're gonna use our Batman just to clear out the board. And I'm like, you know what? For free value, Batman is not gonna, they're still not even on charge 1 yet. So I'm like, you know what? We should be okay. So we're just gonna pop Alfred back, and then we can actually attack with Batman again next turn if we choose to. So we're like, all right, well, I'm sitting pretty good here so far. They don't have a board, and we can attack again with Batman next turn if we need to. So I really don't like this Aura girl, because she's so good. 3/3 Aura, pretty strong. And I'm like, man, if they have a Steve, she's gonna become a 3/4, which they didn't have it. So I'm like, okay, great. So we're gonna have 2 bronze here. Again, we're still like, not too sure what we're gonna do here, but we choose to play the Green Lantern, and I think we pick Kilowog here. Yeah, because he does get the +2/+2 stats. So now he's a 6/8. 6/8 silver, not too shabby. And we play Alfred here again. And I feel like we're not going to grappling hook Alfred again. So we're just going to have just value because we have Batwing in our hand also for the next turn when silver comes into play. So I'm like, all right, we're going to keep some type of value in our hand and still control the board. So I'm like, we'll be good here. They're going to be able to attack next turn. So I'm like, all right, so if they clear our board, we're still going to have some type of board pressure or presence next turn as well. So I'm like, all right, we're sitting pretty good, and we're going to have Hal Jordan's stats up as well. So they play their Batwing, they trigger their Batman. So now they have a 3 attacker on the board for the leader. They play their Harvey, pop our Alfred, which is fine. So their Batman clears our Harvey. And I was surprised here he didn't do Wonder Woman just to get the extra boost numbers for his characters. So I'm like, oh, that's very interesting. So I feel like that was probably a misplay on their part. So we go Batwing for ours. We get the Batarang. And I'm like, now I wish I had Alfred here. But we're going to play our tear gas so that way our Batwing can get a boost here. And I was like, we do have 2 Green Lanterns in hand, so activate our Hal Jordan effects. Jessica boosts our cards by +2, and I think it actually hits Kilowog. So our Kilowog is huge. He's a 9/8, 9/8, ready to come down eventually. So we're just waiting here. So I feel like we're doing pretty good right now. We had Hal Jordan clear his Batwing, which didn't have no type of pressure. And then we have Batman to attacking next turn again. So this is what I'm saying. Like, having a leader being able to attack every other turn is really good because it can help with clearing out board presence.
May the gods
so
grant us their
he can trigger Wonder Woman here. Everybody gets boosted. Batarang, okay, so he knocks that down, so he can be a Wonder Woman target kill, which that has happened. And then Batman gets punched in the face. And then he doesn't do much after that. So now he has a scary board. He has a 5/6 Hunter. He has a 3/4 on board. Our Jessica Jones goes back down. So we're like, man, we're 3/3. So it's pretty rough right now. We only have Kilowog in our hand. We draw Shazam. Shazam is a great draw for next turn. So I guess we're gonna do Kilowog here. We trigger his effects so that way everybody grows for +1/+1. So now he's a 10/9. 10/9, pretty crazy stat stick right now. I'm debating how I can clear his board without losing too much resources. So I figured the Hunter is definitely where she needs to get out of there. I feel like that was a good play because now if I do go Jessica, it's a Hunter. Jessica doesn't get knocked out and she stays there with another chance to live. And then I just want to get rid of the higher threat. And then we just free bandage, pretty good. Wish I had Lucius Fox because then we could draw a card off of that, but sadly we can't. And then we just pass turn here. So we're sitting pretty good. Jessica Cruz is acceptable to Batarang from Batman's effect, so she can just automatically get knocked out. But him knocking out Kilowog is gonna take some type of effort because 10/9 is nothing to. 10/9 is pretty strong. Then he has draw Wonder Woman, so he did draw his gold card. But we're like, we have Shazam, so Shazam, and we have Captain Atom in our hands. So we're like, we definitely could get rid of his Wonder Woman and try to clear out his board. So he does get Batarang, luckily, knocks out Jessica, and he just goes for face here. Yeah, like Hal Jordan is taking some huge damage. Again, I'm surprised he didn't trigger his Wonder Woman just to gain everybody a plus defense up and attack Hal Jordan, dropping him down to 4. So now we have a decision here what we want to target first with Shazam. I think the first order is to get rid of Wonder Woman, but we also have Kilowog. Kilowog is sitting there 10/9, so he's helpful. So we just clearing out all the big dudes. I did a misplay here. I should have This could be considered misplay, yes and no. I could have put Shazam in the back row behind Robin, but then since I had 8 life left, he has 8 damage on board with Wonder Woman at 4, Nightmare Nurse at 3, and Harvey at 1. So he could have actually killed Hal Jordan with 8 damage there. So that's why I put Shazam in front of Hal, so that way he has to effortlessly, like, knock out Shazam first, so that way he can do the 8 damage on board. Hopefully he doesn't draw a Batarang, but he does draw a Batarang. But it's okay though, because since Shazam gets knocked out, Billy sits there as a shield now. So Billy's a 0-1, but he still was able to block all the attacks, because otherwise Hal, our leader, would have been knocked out this turn. Because he does have 8 damage on board and can get through. So luckily Billy takes the hit, and luckily he goes for Kilowog instead, just to get rid of the 10 damage. And you see, we could definitely have been knocked out there. Alright, so then Argo. And I'm like, okay, we got a free play, we got our leader ability here, so we got a lot of things we can do here. I'm trying to contemplate how I can clear his board right now. So I'm trying to see what's the best play here. So I go Chip, do our leader effect Hal, generate the free bronze, summon Chip, get our free recruit, let them get a little bit higher for +1/+1, and aura, and then we have Captain Atom, and give everybody aura. So now if he starts trying to take out our aura, Captain Atom is going to just start going crazy. So I'm like, what is the best move here, so that way I don't take so much damage and I could dish out enough damage. I definitely want to try to clear out his board here as much as possible. So I'm contemplating Batarang. So we hit the Harvey. I'm just wondering what is the best move here, how I can efficiently utilize our lead, because we can't clear his board 100%, but we can clear out most things. So I'm trying to see what is more important here. So Nightmare Runners has to get out of here. So I go. Actually, I can clear out his whole board. So I go Hal into Harvey, and then Robin into Nightmare Nurse, and clear out his whole board in that one turn with just 3 attacks. That's why it's, again, I keep saying it, like, it's so important to have a leader to be able to attack. So now he's top decking, he has 2 cards in hand, and I have a whole board full of aura cards, and yeah, that's it. And then they gave up. So yeah, that is going to be it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and giving you guys my explanation on how the game was and whatnot. So hopefully, if you guys would like this style of content or video, let me know down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.